An officer-involved shooting in Wood County is still under investigation. The sheriff says deputies were responding to a health and wellness check for George Taylor.
But they say Taylor pointed a rifle at a deputy, and then they went on and shot and killed Taylor. Now tonight, his family is speaking out. Andre
Norrells joins us now live in studio. Andre, what did the family have to tell you today?
Well, Jeff and Kaylee, with this event happening just a few days ago, the family is still grieving, but they say Taylor was a decorated veteran. They told me they don't want this situation to be the last thing people remember about him.
How does a welfare check end in the death of my uncle? It makes no sense.
That's the question George Eric Taylor's family members want answered. One of his nieces says they're still processing the loss.
This came out of nowhere. Just a few days prior, we were all having a good time, celebrating. And then, we wake up and the first thing we hear is this happened.
On Sunday morning, officers were called to Taylor's home in Rudolph. Family says a former counselor out of Pennsylvania made the call. Wood County deputies went into it knowing he was suicidal, but Sheila Long, Taylor's sister, says there was more he was dealing with. He served in the Navy and Coast Guard and was a decorated veteran.
He struggled with PTSD. He also had traumatic brain injury. He had been shot in the hip, so he had many demons that he was fighting.
Wood County Sheriff Mark Vasilishin says deputies are trained to handle these types of situations.
All my road deputies are CIT, critical incident trained, and trained on how to deal with people with mental health issues and depression and suicidal. And unfortunately, sometimes things don't go the way we want it to go, because that's the last thing we want to do is have the person die. We're there to save lives, but the deputy had no choice to do other than to do what he did.
While the family doesn't blame the deputy who shot Taylor, they wish there was another option.
I'm not saying he did anything wrong. It was probably by the book. I think where we feel like the system failed us is not having a protocol for someone who has a history of mental health that is a good person that just struggled with PTSD. There had to be a different way.
BCI is still investigating the shooting. We'll keep you updated as more information comes out. For anyone with suicidal thoughts, you can reach 988 for help. Reporting in studio, Andre Norrells, WTOL 11.
Task Force 20 is helping veterans across Northwest Ohio fight mental health issues. The organization helps them get off the couch and away from drugs and alcohol through a healthy and active lifestyle. And the founder says it's an option that many may not know about.
A lot of times they're telling the veteran they need to go get help, but neither them nor the veteran know where to turn. So this is where being involved in the veteran community and around the other veterans that have been through the transition and experienced that previously, that's how we're going to help each other through it.
Now, to join Task Force 20, apply at tf20.org and be sure to have a valid veteran status.